Oh, and the megaphone. Oh, I probably should say something about that.
Yeah.
I bought the megaphone because he kept harassing us, so I was just waiting for him to harass us again. But honestly, like I don't really have anything else to say about
Have
that.
you used the megaphone?
I did, sir. Yes.
What did you say with it? So this involves a number of cases, and then Brea Archuleta, could you come on the Zoom call, please?
Yes, I'm actually here right now. What courtroom is this?
Courtroom number 3. So we have Brea Archuleta and cause number 25-438, asking for an order against Mr. Dunlap.
Yes, sir.
Case ending in 439. We have Mr. Dunlap asking for an order against Brea Archuleta, which is you, ma'am. And then in the case ending in 440, Mr. Dunlap's asking for an order against Tana Archuleta. And in 440, and then of course we have 444, where Tana Archuleta is asking for an order against Mr. Dunlap. Because they filed first, and just going in a numerical order, I'll hear from the Archuletas first, and then I'll hear from you, Mr. Dunlap. And then we'll go from there. So who's going to speak first for the Archuletas? Could you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
You can put your hand down. And what's your name?
Brea Archuleta.
Okay. And then, so I guess I'm going to ask this question to you, but I'm going to ask it, and I can ask it to everybody. You know, you and your mother are asking for orders to keep him away from you. He's asking for orders to keep you away from him. And it seems like you all kind of want the same thing. So I'm kind of confused as to why you need me.
All right.
Go ahead, ma'am. That's not a flip question.
Okay. So we want a restraining order on him because
I'm talking about you, ma'am. Everybody's
I
has own
want a
individual
restraining order
case.
on
I'm just
him.
talking to you right now.
Okay, I want a restraining order on him because we lived in the trailer park for about a year, and throughout the years, like I heard him screaming at Cassandra and throwing stuff and breaking stuff, and Cassandra moving out, and I've just seen it happen so many times that I felt uncomfortable hearing that, and I had called the police on him. We had told Cassandra that if she came back, that we were gonna have to call CPS because there was a child involved, and like he was throwing stuff and screaming, and it's just not a safe environment for the child. So well, we waited about a month and she kept coming back. So we called CPS. And then the day we called CPS, Cassandra texted Zach and told her that we had called the police. So Zach waited for my mom to come home. And when my mom came home, she got out the car and Zach started yelling at my mom and saying, "You don't have the right to call the cops on me, bitch." And calling her a cunt, a faggot, a retard. And then so I came outside and then I addressed the situation and then we called the police and basically that's what happened. I just wanted to also comment that in the video that he had uploaded, he had cut the part out that he had provoked us, which is messing with evidence. He had cut the video short. So he cut the part out where he came at my mom in the video. So that video shouldn't really be used as evidence, considered that it was cut short. But for my safety,
You know, I have to tell you something, ma'am. I didn't, did you mention it? You know, I looked at this over the weekend. My computer at home didn't allow me to see the video, so I didn't actually see it.
Okay.
But I'll talk with him about it, but I will see it. I'll
right.
take a break here and look at it in a second. But I meant to do that this morning and it just, frankly, it just slipped my mind, but I did read everything else.
Okay.
But I will listen to it and then I'll hear from you too in a minute. Richard Stubbs. So you say you've lived there a year?
Yes.
And then was he there when you moved there or did he?
Yeah, he was there and moved there.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And then this all started when you heard things that didn't involve you, but then when you contacted the police and CPS, that's what led to him bothering you?
Yeah. Well, I didn't call CPS. I called the police. Because I was just out on my porch. It was
Did
like
anyone call CPS?
She called CPS.
Okay, I'll talk to her in a minute.
Yeah. But I just want the protection order because we both live in the trailer park. He had moved out of the trailer park already. He lives somewhere else now. So I don't feel like I feel like we needed a restraining order now because I feel like it's a bad situation.
Right.
Yeah.
So he doesn't even live there anymore?
Yeah, no, he doesn't live in the trailer park anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
So have you had any contact with him since he left?
Nope. Hasn't said a word to us. We haven't said a word to each other. We put 3 cameras up since the incident happened so that he didn't say a word after.
All right. Let me hear from your mother. Ma'am, could you raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Go ahead. You can put your hand down.
Yes.
I've heard from her. Now let me hear from you.
Yeah, I mean, in summary, yes, there had been stuff going on
And she was home more than I was during the day, so she was, more privy to what was going on.
Right.
I came home one day, heard some yelling, went inside, didn't really hear specifically what was being said next door at his home with Cassandra and the baby there. And then she decided she was gonna call the police. So then the police arrived, and we were as they were outside speaking with Cassandra while she was holding the baby. I stepped out and said, "Hey, you can come over here. Come over here. You can stay over here." And she spent about 2 hours at our house. And I did the best that I could to consult her, and learned a lot about some of the previous domestic violence that had gone on, as well as a previous protection order that had been in place that against Mr. Dunlap that had been dropped, apparently, because she felt that he was doing better and moved back in with him. But there was just a lot of concerning things
Right.
that were said. So then I called. Oh, and yes, and that she had told us that he had, apparently something had
Okay,
happened physically,
All right.
that where she had received, had obtained, or a brain injury where there was actually bleeding on the brain. And, that was concerning. And so me being previously having worked with disabled community and nonverbal disabled community
Okay.
offenders, I, being a mandated reporter, I still consider myself to be a mandated reporter, even though I'm not doing that. And I will always be there to protect children. And
When did
yeah.
Mr. Okay, and then so then you contacted
I
CPS, and then
contacted CPS, yes.
that created the incidents where
Yes,
okay,
where I
and
was approached as I was getting out of
Got
my
it.
car, going up onto my porch.
all right.
And
And is that really the only incident that occurred
that was
between?
the first,
Okay.
that was that day, that was the only, yes, the
Okay.
only incident.
And then what? Okay, ma'am, just one at a time. Okay. And so what happened after? Anything happened after that?
Nothing has happened since,
Okay.
in regards to myself.
Okay.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, I take that back. There was one day that I believe it was the next day. Hold on. Oh, on Thursday, December 11th. So the original phone call to the police was made on the 9th, approximately around 7 p.m. Then on Thursday, December 11th, I went outside to dump some garbage. His walking out toward the front of my unit. His is on the right side of me. I walked out. I went up to the left side of the community. There was a huge dumpster. Dumped a bunch of garbage there, and walked back. And then Zach popped out and said, "What's up, faggot?" I kept walking toward my house, and he said, "Good night, cunt." I didn't say anything to him. I just kept walking. So that was concerning enough, because it was dark outside at that point.
And then, but he's since moved.
He has since moved just
Don't
recently
forget
within the
about
last.
Don't forget about them.
Okay. So ma'am, again, I really need you not to just let her tell me her story, and then I'll.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, yes, and it all stems from, the
From-
original event that happened on the 9th, when he questioned me as in regards to telling me I didn't have the right to call the police on him, started calling me a bitch and a cunt, telling me to leave him alone. Then she walked out because I was on our porch, and which is about 15, 20 feet from his unit, where reasonably his cameras would have picked up any audio, even though the camera wouldn't have picked up any video. It definitely would have picked up audio from that moment. So then when you see her, when you will review the video, you'll see her popping out, coming down toward where I was standing in front of him. You'll see that the video was clipped up prior to that point. So there was
Well, what's in the, go ahead and tell me what.
just us standing there, and then the manager came out, Missy came out and was standing next to me, primarily to make sure that Zach didn't do something, to me. Zach had said to me, "There's cameras here." I said, "Okay, great." So I stepped right in front of his trailer and stood right in front of the cameras to make sure everything was recorded.
All right.
So I don't recall saying anything threatening toward him. So I don't believe there's a reason for protection order, for me to be against him. I'm not a threatening person. So, but and you'll hear me cussing initially when we're all standing, because I was responding to being called names.
Right.
and you'll hear me say the F word.
Mr. Dunlap, could you raise your right hand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
How is it you, you need an order against the Archelettas?
Well, there's quite a few things here that have been said that aren't true.
Well, I want you to
Part
tell
of
me, you're asking for an order against them. So you can explain to me why you need an order and why they shouldn't get one. And so she's already explained to me why they shouldn't get one. So go ahead. You can tell me everything from your perspective.
Well, so the initial police call, I don't see how is their business and how something between me and my girlfriend can warrant them having a restraining order against me.
Okay.
Since I've lived at this residence for over 5 years now. And
You don't live there. I'm told you don't live there anymore.
No, and because of this specifically, I'm fearing my freedom. I literally wouldn't be able to go outside until they were gone, because Bria she bought herself a megaphone for any time that I came outside to scream at me. It's just financially affecting me. Bria had broken a vase over her boyfriend's car, stabbed his tires, and I believe there's a restraining order on him protecting her. So I'm fearful of even my physical belongings. I'm up all night. If I hear something in the middle of the night, I check my cameras. So I'm lacking sleep, which is affecting work. Obviously, it's affecting my residency. It's affecting my relationship with my girlfriend and my son, which now we're living in 2 separate places, which is causing hardship on our relationship. I mean, there's a lot that has.
Hang on, let's go back to you. Are you moving? You've moved out of the place?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm currently, sorry for interrupting. I'm currently still getting stuff from there. But I don't stay there.
And so then is what I mean, are you is the lease ended and all this, and you have to be out of there like by the end of the month, or what exactly?
The manager and me had made a deal to where if I can get everything out and clean by the 1st, then mine and his deal would, I'm sorry, say that again?
As in like 2 days or 3 days?
Yeah, there's quite a bit of stuff left. I mean, it was, me and him were sitting there talking. He mentioned something, I said, deal.
Okay. Can you do that? Can you get stuff out there by the 1st?
I'm not gonna be able to get everything out. And I had to clean up some renovation debris that I had done at the house, so it's gonna take longer than that.
Okay, but does the manager know that, and is that gonna affect your deal?
Possibly, but I mean, all I can do is just try. So.
Oh, go ahead, continue on.
So in every instance where they had called the police, they had told the police that I have firearms, which I'm a felon. I'm not allowed to have firearms. And in both instances, I let the police come and check out what they are talking about, what I assume they were talking about, and their airsoft guns, their toys. And I mean, it's just, that goes back to my, threat of freedom. I feel like I have so much anxiety when I'm there. Is there any way we can get her to stop laughing?
I was
Yeah,
just
she's not helping herself.
Yeah.
She's not helping herself. So you just don't, I've been through this a few times, so I can read people.
But
not always accurately, but I have a sense of
it's just
what I think is going on here.
Sorry. But I'm scared of not being able, like, if I get taken to jail for a firearm, I'm going to jail for 5 years plus. So just the idea of that being a possibility and not being able to be out for my son.
But I will say you can't be taken to jail for that if you don't have one.
Yeah, exactly.
But go ahead.
But I mean, it's just the stress of that. Always having to be tiptoeing, not sure if the police do come, this or that.
Okay. Anything further?
As for the video clips, the clerk told me that I was only allowed to put so much in there or else it wouldn't send. So I did clip it, and if you would like, I can email you the full thing, but I clipped what was privy to my situation.
All right.
That would give the best context in set amount of time.
So you kind of acting like you wanted to say something there, Ms. Archuleta, the younger. Go ahead.
I just want to say, the reason why I did say that he had a firearm is because the day after I called the
Okay.
police.
We're not really concerned about that.
Oh, okay. Well, I just wanted to say like.
Tell me about the megaphone that he talked about. Do you
Okay.
have one?
So yeah, because when he had came after my mom and it wasn't only that, it was 3 times actually within like a matter of 2 days. The
Okay.
first time was when he came and called my mom a retard faggot and a cunt, and then like when she got home, and when she went to the garbage can. Then when I was sitting in my car, because I came home, I was sitting in my car with my windows up one day, and he drove by and he was calling me. He said something about broke bitch. I couldn't hear anything because my music was up, but my mom heard everything. He was like calling me a broke bitch. Like he just pulled up next to my car, sat there, called me a broke bitch, cussed me out. And then like every time the thing I'm a little bit confused about is that he's like scared for his safety, because every time we would come out of our house, there'd be like 2 or 3 or 4 men outside of our house. You know, we're 2 women living in alone, 2 women, no men. But every time that we call the police or anything like that, he'd call all of his friends and they'd all be outside the house. The neighbor, John, Shane, they'd all be hanging out outside the house. Like he'd call them out and like it was ganging up or something like that. So if anything, I actually feel fear for my safety because he always is with groups of men. So he's never alone. So I'm not sure why he's like scared for his safety. But that's really all I have to say, Your Honor.
All right.
Oh, and the megaphone. Oh, I probably should say something about that.
Yeah.
I bought the megaphone because he kept harassing us. So I was just waiting for him to harass us again. But honestly, like, I don't really have anything else to say about
Have you
that.
used the megaphone?
I did, sir, yes.
What did you say with it?
I said it's all on video. I can't
Okay.
really like remember everything I said, but I asked him a
Well, you have a
question.
pretty good memory of things he said, so I think you would remember the things you said.
He took something as I said and he changed it into a completely different thing. I asked him a question and he had changed it into a threat. So you could see it on video, but I'm not admitting or saying anything right now. It's all on video. But yeah, that's all I can say. I don't really have anything else to say, Your Honor. I mean, I could say I called him a faggot back and all of the things. I
Well, I
called
mean,
him a
if that's-
faggot, a retard, a bitch. I called him everything that he called my mother,
Okay.
Your Honor. I have if he wants to get a restraining order,
Okay,
that's
so ma'am,
completely fine.
ma'am, you've answered my questions.
Mhm.
I'm gonna step off for a couple minutes. I'll be back in about 5 minutes or so, and then I'll give an opinion. So we'll go back on the record on the many cases involving Mr. Dunlap and the Archelettas. I went back, I just took a minute and reviewed those videos. They're all very short, as I knew they would be. When did you buy that? When did you get a hold of that megaphone?
The day after he cussed my mom out and came
So
after
you
me.
bought this megaphone for the purpose of pontificating, for lack of a better term, in the trailer park?
Yes, sir.
Well, here's where I'm at on this. And so I'm going to speak, there's 2 cases and there's like 4 cases here. And that you each individually are seeking an order against him. And he's seeking an order against both of you. You want to say something, ma'am?
I did move out of the trailer park. I rent a room now in a whole different neighborhood. So
Okay.
he doesn't have to really worry
So,
about
well,
me.
I'm going to get to that. Here's where I'm at. So with regard to, first of all, I'm going to talk about each one of these individually. I'm going to start with your petition against Ms. Archeletta, Tana Archeletta. You know, people.
Archuleta.
I'm sorry,
Archuleta.
Archuleta. I
Archuleta.
apologize. You should
That's
correct
okay.
me, and I want to get your name right. Which Archuleta. You know, I don't find that anything she did is harassing to you. People have the right to, if people are concerned, if you see people on the street, you may have done this. You know, if someone's all over the road or whatever, and you're concerned about this person being a drunk driver, you can get on the phone and call them up. If they're concerned, however she was concerned, however rightly or wrong, if something's going on that law enforcement needs to be involved, she's, you know, she said she's a mandatory reporter, which may or may not be true, which, okay, but even if not, if just an ordinary citizen sees something that they're concerned about, they can call the police. And if nothing pans out from it, then that's one thing. But it's totally appropriate for her to voice concerns to the appropriate agencies, either police uh, um, or CPS or what have you. There's nothing wrong with that. And her doing that is not in any way harassing at all.
Yeah.
Your response to her, though, is somewhat problematic. And the way that you, and I saw that the interaction between the two of you, and maybe I missed the beginning of it based on the video. And so that's a problem. And with regard to Ms. Archuleta Brea, the younger, that's kind of a different issue. You know, you kind of had me at the megaphone there, you know, going to get a megaphone for the purposes of getting on there. And I heard there was some where you're, you know, taking shots at somebody, making comments. I shouldn't use that other term, making derogatory comments against someone just for the purpose of, I don't even know what the purpose of that is. That I would consider that harassing. And you used the same language that Mr. Dunlap used against you and your mother, which is also, you know, completely inappropriate. Mm-hmm. So, but then on the other hand, now I've heard like basically you're the only person who lives there anymore, as far as I can tell. And so where I'm at here on this is, you know, I would be prepared to grant Ms. Tana Archuletta's order against Mr. Dunlap, grant Mr. Dunlap's order against Ms. Brea Archuleta, and all the others would be denied. There's that alternative, or, you know, this appears to be kind of a blow up type of deal where, and now you've moved out or in the process of moving out, she's moved out. We could just, you know, if everybody agreed, can just say, okay, this got out of control. You know, you're not going to live there anymore. Everybody's going to be on their best behavior, and then just everybody go on about their business without an order right now, with the caveat of telling all of you, if either one of you breathe a word to anybody, you're free to report whatever you feel like you need to report. But if either one of you breathe a word of this to any other person, you'd come back and you'll get an order, and you'll have to live with that order. That order carries with it some collateral consequences. And if everybody can agree that this got out of control and things will go back to with you living out of you moving out, you still living there without them around, things should be able to carry on peacefully. You wanted to say something, ma'am.
I just want to say, I don't understand why my mom can't get one because.
I said I did. I was going to grant
like,
that one.
You're saying like we either have a choice that she can get one or we can
No,
just forget
look,
about it.
here's what I'm going to do. Like I said, what if I were to rule, if you're going to make me rule on this to give an order, I'm going to grant her order against him. I'm going to grant his order against you. All others are going to be denied. And so then, or like I say, I'm giving you the alternative for everybody just to say, okay, let's just back away from this and go on about our business. And then no orders are entered against everybody. But that's because, again, it seems to me like with everybody moved out of the trailer park, I'm not sure there's a need for an order anymore.
Okay.
Go ahead, ma'am.
It's just like, I'm worried about my mom.
Okay, so but you know what, here, I'm gonna tell you something about your mom.
Yeah.
She's an adult and she can look after herself.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can make comments with regard to you, but I've told you what I'm gonna add, and I'm gonna hear from you, ma'am. What?
Okay. You know, my only concern was what was going on with Cassandra and the baby.
Right.
So I did what I felt was necessary.
And like I said, there's nothing wrong with that. I think.
Yeah, thank you. Which was with much consideration, because I don't really like to get involved with other people, and I tried to not get involved, but it was a really concerning situation. Right. And I felt, and I don't know if you did read through the text messages that were there on the ones I submitted from Cassandra. So there were concerns there. And so I made a choice.
Right.
So I was prepared for the ramifications of that choice.
Right.
I'm perfectly fine with dropping it all, but if anything does at all occur, and here's the thing, she immediately went out and purchased cameras immediately.
Cameras are good. Megaphone is not.
Yeah. So the reason this is mom, look, 19-year-old 58-year-old.
I know.
She bought that megaphone. She had lost her voice from all the screaming.
That's why I bought it.
And she bought the megaphone because her
Well-
voice was gone, and she said the next, and so it was a bad choice on her part, definitely, to step
All
outside
right.
and say something, and I had advised her not to interact with him at all.
All right.
But you also have 19-year-old, thinking going on, but also it was not appropriate for him to, to surprise attack us outside,
I'm not.
screaming at her
yeah.
while she's in her car. So
Yeah.
there was a buildup of events that happened that would lead up to the megaphone.
I'm not,
Um,
again, I
Yeah.
understand all
So I-
that. If
I
you
think
said if
it's
you're
better
fine with
to
letting this
drop
go,
it.
it sounds like he's letting
Yeah.
this go. And,
Uh-huh.
and again, I'll tell everybody that if there's any sort of confrontation in the future, come on back, then we'll get the order and we'll put it in place and it'll be in place for a year.
And I'm not a confrontational person.
No, I mean, I'm
But I
not,
will protect myself, and I don't typically back down to people, and I never have, and I never will.
okay.
And my aunt actually got me a plaque one time that said, something like quiet women rarely make history or something like
No,
that,
I'm
but
familiar with
I'm
that.
not the type that backs down. I'm not the,
Right.
the shy person, like unfortunately Cassandra, who,
Okay.
didn't
So-
have the ability to stand up for herself.
Here's the
So
thing.
that's why we're here.
Okay, and I understand that, ma'am. And like I
Mhm.
said, like I tried to say beforehand, there's nothing wrong with that. If you feel,
Thank you.
in
Yes,
anything,
no,
whether.
And I
in
know there's not.
Where you live
Yeah.
or whatever,
Mhm.
people should speak up. Maybe
Yeah.
people should speak up more.
And most of the people that live there want nothing, they didn't want to get involved.
Right.
And my thinking is, wow, there's a child there.
Okay,
And
So,
so,
but again-
that's frustrating to me in itself.
I'm gonna go back to where you were by saying just letting this thing go for now. It's,
Uh-huh.
and then that'll be it. You can go
Okay.
on. But again, if there's any other incidents or contacts, you'll come on back and then you'll get the order. Do you understand
Yes.
that?
Yeah.
That's it for today. If you all,
Thank you.
and then,
Thank
you're all free to
Thank
go. You can get orders.
Do we need any paperwork for?
Well, if you want it, they're gonna be, I'm gonna do denials on all of these. And then, if you want copies of them, you can wait there in courtroom and get them.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And ma'am, is Archuleta that Ms. Tana Archuleta?
You can go ahead and go. I'll grab whatever. She's gonna leave.
Okay,
Thank
you're,
She doesn't, she's apparently parked next to him, so she wants to leave
okay,
now.
yeah. Yes,
So there's no orders.
there's not gonna be any orders going forward.
Gentleman's agreement.
What's that?
Gentleman's
Okay,
agreement.
well, not a gentleman's agreement, just by agreement. Why? Yeah, so no orders are going forward here from today.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So I don't need to wait for any document. or
If you
anything?
want to, if you want to, you can.
Okay,
And
then I'll
then,
wait.
and then, if they'll also be available online.
Okay, yeah, I can get them online.
Okay, you
Thank
get them
you.
online?
Yes.
All of them are gone, yep. But if there's any other incidents going forward, then come back. And I'm having difficulty reading you, ma'am, in terms of whether you think this is a good idea or a bad idea. But I'm going to reaffirm what I said earlier, if someone, an ordinary citizen, has a concern about something, they probably should report it. And if nothing comes of it, nothing comes of it.
And that's fine. Everything was unfounded.
Hey, Well, anyway, that's not what I'm here for.
Exactly.
Okay, you're free to go. So I'll do these later. If you're gonna get them
Okay.
online, ma'am, I'll
Thank
do
you.
them later.
Okay, thank you.
All right, good luck, ma'am.
Yes, happy New Year.
What's that? You too.